Yeah, what's up guys? I'm Raga.
I'm Ewan.
And today we're going to do something kind of different. We're going to talk about light wind swell riding on a wing, right?
Yeah, that's it. So obviously the technique and all that and gear as well changes in weather conditions. So if it's light wind, we're going to be using bigger wings, we're going to be using bigger boards in general and bigger foils. And when it gets strong, I personally like to get on the small sinker board, a nice fast foil and a small wing. But yeah, I think it's actually definitely harder to ride swell in the light wind, so we'll be giving you some tips to make it easier.
This is going to be a fun one as well. I think a lot of us out there don't have the opportunity to ride good waves and good conditions. For example, I'm from the Great Lakes, all wind swell, a lot of chop. So for a lot of you out there, this should be a really useful video. Let's dive into it.
So yeah, we've been out here in Hood River riding some really nice conditions, some big swell, strong winds, but occasionally we've been out there and the wind's dropped off and we still want to have that downwinder, we still want to get on the swell. You need to change your idea and your technique a little bit. So when you're in lighter winds, obviously you're going to take a bigger foil. You still want a relatively high aspect foil so it glides nicely on the small waves. You're going to have a bigger wing just to get going. And then you're going to have a bigger board because you can't really ride a sinker board in super light wind. So when you're up on the wave or the swell or the piece of chop that you're trying to ride, you really want to stay kind of pretty high up because you want your foil to be in the power of the swell or the chop that you're trying to ride. That's really important. I see a lot of people with their foil really far under the water where there's not much energy. It's not a powerful ground swell, so there's not really any energy 75 centimeters under the water. So you're going to be wanting to ride with your foil in the piece of swell so it keeps going. You're also going to need to be constantly looking around you for where the nicest piece of chop or swell is and being able to pump over to that. So you really want to have your pumping dialed if you're going for like a downwind, light wind swell riding session. Also, yeah, you're going to be on a bigger wing and bigger foil, so you're going to want to keep your wing kind of out of your way. If it is light wind and the swell's small, you're not going to be able to have your wing in front of you because it'll just blow back into you. So you're going to have it out to your side and really, yeah, scouting and be balanced and be ready to pump into wherever you see the nice swell. So yeah, really the light wind is all about kind of pumping a lot more, having the right gear, keeping your foil in the swell, and just constantly looking around you to keep linking those little bits of chop. So yeah, just to recap on the pumping, the main thing is try and pump with the swell. So try and get some good speed on whatever piece of chop you are first before leaving it, because any piece of energy you can get from the ocean or the lake or the river is going to help you when you pull off it and try and find your next one. So you want to pull off the chop with some nice speed, have the wing kind of nicely out to the side so you can really kind of get a nice balance point for your pumping. And yeah, it's just all about just keeping that speed while you're pumping, keeping a nice height off the water. And really the best thing is to have a piece of swell or chop that you're aiming for, so you know kind of you have a goal of how far you have to pump, and you can kind of just use enough energy to get to that next piece and then glide on that for a bit and then pump again to the next piece. And you don't want to be overly exerting your energy to pump off to a really far piece of swell, because then when you get there you're going to be wrecked, and if you need to go for another pump somewhere else you're going to have no energy. So yeah, it's just about constantly linking pieces of chop so you can have plenty of time riding, resting, and then being ready for the next pump. So yeah, I hope that gives you some good tips onto light wind kind of swell riding and downwinding with a wing. And yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, and if you've got any more questions, put them in the comments or feel free to send me a message on social media.